His name is Stephen Moore. What do you make of Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, saying, look, if we don't raise the debt ceiling, it's an economic catastrophe? What do you make of that?
Well, look, Stuart, first of all, this is pretty rich for the Democrats who say this year they want to spend $11 trillion to say that, by the way, without virtually a single Republican vote. You know, they passed that $1.9 trillion blue state bailout back in March without a single Republican vote. They want to pass this. Oh, by the way, Stuart, can you stop saying that this is a $3.5 trillion spending bill? It's $5 trillion. They're using phony accounting. Right. It is a $5 trillion bill if you use honest accounting. Now, my point is the Democrats could pass a debt ceiling increase tomorrow, Stuart, without a single Republican vote. They have the votes. They own it. They own the House. They own the Senate. They own the White House. There's no way Republicans could stop the Democrats from passing this debt ceiling to avert the so-called financial crisis. But what the Democrats want is the Republicans to sign on to this and basically say, yeah, we're part of the debt ceiling, so Republicans can't use that vote against them in November of 2022. But look, what sense does it make to raise the debt ceiling by $6 and $7 trillion when the Democrats have said, OK, the first thing we're going to do once we've raised the debt ceiling is pass a $5 trillion spending bill? That is the economic catastrophe, not the debt ceiling itself.
As an economist, does this Evergrande situation, possible default, does that worry you about a rippling out around the world in a kind of a Lehman moment? You worry about that?
No, I worry about the massive increase in the debt. It would be like, Stuart, the argument would be like, let's say you've got somebody who's a spendthrift and they keep spending and spending and spending and borrowing money and then blaming the bank for not raising their credit card limit. I mean, come on. The crisis is the debt itself. If Democrats want to avert a financial crisis, which we all do, the way to do that is stop borrowing and spending and taxing so much money. I do believe this bill that we will be debating now for the next 2 or 3 months on your show, this $5 trillion New Great Society Part 2, is the most financially irresponsible bill in at least a half of a century. I mean, it raises tax rates and massively increases borrowing, as the Green New Deal. Come on, let's stop a financial crisis by not spending all of this money.
OK, but if we don't stop the spending, if they somehow or other agree to $2 trillion, say it's $3 trillion. Yeah. Suppose they agree on $3 trillion total, $3 trillion. Yeah. Is that bad for the economy or good?
You mean more government spending?
Yeah.
No, we should be cutting government spending right now, Stuart. I mean, look, last year we had to massively borrow because we had the COVID lockdowns and we had to, a lot of businesses, went out of operation. But that crisis is over. The economy is back. All we need to do is stop spending money. Now, when a crisis is over, Stuart, if you look out throughout American history for the last 200 years, when the crisis is over, that's when you actually start paying down the debt. This is the first time in American history we've got a Congress that wants to spend trillions of dollars after the crisis is over. It makes absolutely no sense.
OK. Stephen, all good stuff, and I promise to refer to it as a $5 trillion
Thank you. I achieved my mission today. It's $5 trillion, not $3.5 trillion.
I'll take it. Thanks so much, Stephen. All good stuff.
Thank you.